Welcome back, guys. This is the V, and today we're going to be checking out my 118 Maisto Dodge Viper GTSR GT2. Now, Maisto has been making this model for quite a long time, actually, going back all the way to the late 1990s. And surprisingly, it is still in production today. I bought it recently at an offline store, mostly because I was surprised to see this car still for sale. And I kind of like it. Although the finishing is not that great, it still has the approvable quality found on earlier Maisto cars. Now, a bit of background information on the Viper. The Viper is a flagship sports car of the Chrysler Group and is one of the most popular high-end American sports cars. The model we're looking at today is the 1998 Viper GTSR GT2 Championship Edition. It is a 100 limited street legal variant of the GTSR. It has a 8-liter odd-firing Viper V10 that produces 460 horsepower and has a top speed of nearly 300 kilometers per hour and 0 to 100 in just 4.2 seconds. Now that's pretty fast for a car made in the late 1990s, right? So let's go ahead and check out the front. Probably the most unique part of this model is the blue stripes. In the real car, they say they painted it in the same way as the GTSR. We have the iconic Viper logo down here, and separate plastic parts for the fog lights here. And of course, the Viper GTSR logo up in the windows. Now, although they got most of the detail right, the finishing on this car is not that great. What I mean is, when you take a look at the stripes down here, they are not perfectly straight, and you can see they're kind of blurred up here. And the grills, the air vents more likely up here, although they are open, the paint job on it is kind of rough. The paint is not perfectly clean. There's bits of paint left on the grills, and the fog light down here in the bumper, well, you're getting the idea. It looks terrible when you see it like this. But despite these low-end finishings, when you open the engine room, you have to say it is simply amazing. Here's the global view of the engine room, and for one thing, it's not in a single piece like most Maisto cars. We have the cables from here in separate parts. We have the main block down here and separate parts here and here. I have to say I'm really impressed with it. It has detail similar, if not better, than the more higher end models like Dorev. It is probably because it is a really old model. The earlier Maisto cars were really sweet. I mean, can you expect this level of engine room detail on a $30 car? Most of you will probably answer no. So let's take the car to the side. And of course, the most favorite part of this car, for me at least, is the 18-inch one-piece rims. It gives a really sportsy and classic look at the same time, in my opinion. Although it's not the best detailed, I think, well, the rim details are acceptable. We have the Viper GTSR logo here again. And onto the interior. It was also surprisingly well made. First of all, it has a wide open door angle, so you can actually take a look inside the interior, unlike most Maisto cars, which have such a terrible door angle that you can't really take a look at it. It has blue accents on the door inserts and the seats, the center console, and the bolsters. I really like it. It's really cool, and it gives a really unique feeling. One minor flaw is that on the model, the parking brakes are black, but on the real car they are blue. We have the Viper logo, again, crested onto the seats, if you can take a look at it. And we have the racing seat belts. The interior, in my opinion, was very, very well made, and it was very satisfying. Now onto the rear. Of course, the huge rear spoiler is what sets this car from other ordinary Vipers. The rear end is also nicely made with logos here and here, there. And of course, the stripes, which I criticized earlier, still lacks the finishing I require. But the rear lamps are nicely made. And the chrome mufflers down here, although they are not the best, they are better than most Maisto cars. They're in separate pieces, but it still gives a really cheap look. Typical Maisto chrome. Now we can open the window to take a look at the trunk. Like this. It took me some time to figure that part out. Nothing special, but the plastic here is really weak, so you have to be careful. And down here, of course, Maisto has a pretty weird reputation for making extremely well-detailed substructure. You can see the engine block from here, although I wonder how many people will flip their cars upside down and examine it carefully. Overall, this was a very satisfying model for me. Not only was it unique in every way, but it also has the amazing old Maisto detail. Although it lacks the finishing in many ways, paint job, grills, whatsoever, I think for this price range, this is one of the best cars you can get. And the car itself is also really, really cool. So this was it, my 118 Maisto Dodge Viper GTSR review. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys later.